production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.
This time on Broad and High, we follow a slam poetry competition to see who will win tickets to see Hamilton in Columbus.
There's a lot of excitement. It's a hot ticket item. As we all know, it's a prize worth competing for.
Meet an artist who gets a bang out of painting with gunpowder. And a soulful studio performance by Watu Atunga. This and more right now on Broad and High.
In the course of our history.
Hi everyone, welcome to Broad and High. I'm WOSU producer Jackie Schaefer, filling in for Kate Quickle. So if you're a fan of the hit musical Hamilton, you know how tough it can be to actually get tickets to see the show. But there was a chance to win a free set of tickets for the mere price of poetry. Local poets, regardless of their level of experience, were recently invited to participate in a poetry slam to perform original work featuring themes found in the musical, such as overcoming obstacles or creating a meaningful legacy. We wanted to be in the room where it happened, so we could bring you this story.
I'm past patiently waiting, I'm passionately smashing every expectation, every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow. For the first time, I'm thinking past tomorrow.
Hamilton is a unique musical because it incorporates elements of hip hop and rap and R&B. You know, it's a blockbuster show and a lot of people really want to engage with that show. And so what we did is we decided to create a series of spoken word workshops in which participants, and it's open to anyone of all ages, could come in and they could learn about the art of spoken word poetry.
And knock knees and trip up in the double Dutch swing, a starch pinafore, a peppermint, and a sour pickle.
So we have actually had participants ages 7 to age 78. And we've had people who have never written a poem and don't maybe even know, much about poetry at all the way up through people that are pretty advanced.
So I have an amazing partner in crime in Barbara Fant, and we kind of split up the room by like who's never wrote a poem before or who's wrote a few poems before, kind of knows what they're doing in there. And so we want to make sure we're at people's skill level as best we can, and then we try to challenge them a little bit.
Anybody can do it. Like, it's something that anybody can do. So if you feel like you can't write a poem, we're here to show you that you can. And so I love it when people come in and they say they don't know anything really about poetry or they don't think that they can write, and we're able to pull something out of them and show them that they do have a story to tell.
The series of 4 workshops will culminate in the opportunity for our workshop participants to compete in a poetry slam event.
I want y'all to give it up for the host of this slam tonight, Mr. William Evans.
So a poetry slam it's almost a dirty word, but it is a competition where we actually have judges that will assign scores to poems, right? So it is just like a poetry reading, except it is more structured in this person comes up, reads a poem, judges score them on that, and they're going to score other people on the slam as well.
Right now, start putting your hands together. Put your hands together. Put your hands together for Jeremiah!
It's exciting, it's energizing. A lot of times people think about poetry and they think it's just this quiet little space, and slam is not like that at all.
So this is my life-changing opportunity, right? The place where I can change my ways and not save face to the fakes that categorize my race and the skin color of my face, but one day I'll say, dang, I got it made.
In order to compete, you have to write around 3 different themes. So one is being an agent of change, another one is overcoming obstacles, and another one is leaving a legacy.
And so it's a really nice way to meld the themes of Hamilton and use that as a platform for people to tell their own stories.
They say reach for the stars, I say you better strive higher.
And we have 2 categories, youth and adult, and the 2 category winners will win 2 tickets to Hamilton on February 6th. There's a lot of excitement. It's a hot ticket item. As we all know, it's a prize worth competing for.
Let love rearrange our matter until hate is something unfathomed. All we've been is love.
His life had value at birth. You haven't proven your worth yet.
And we're going to score you basically on the written aspect of your work and the performance aspect of your work.
And for this slam in particular, there's going to be a weight on how much they adhere to the themes that are exemplified in Hamilton.
Put those up. 1, 2, 3. Please put your scores up.
Well, I've always had an interest in theater and music, so I was like, if I can get tickets to Hamilton for free, entering as soon as I can, so yeah.
Stop putting your hands together. Put your hands together for Playon!
So today my poem was about how can a black boy in America leave behind a legacy? How does it add up to somebody else's legacy? And what does it look like to really have something left behind when there's something that's not here right now?
When writing this piece, I asked myself, what is a legacy? And then I asked myself again in the words that not even compute. What is a legacy to a black boy in America? What is a legacy to a black boy in America? What is there to leave behind when there is not enough right now? It is not enough for us to sing, but you continually demand for us to politely drown. The legacy of half my generation will not be written down. Their stories lie in hashtags on the back of t-shirts, their names written across bullets, and their bodies are examined at the crime scene. A life struggling just to be turns into a life of nothing. When will the world see that I am more than just my skin? When will the world see that this is not a safe place for a black boy to live in? Instead, my legacy will live on in the name that I have been given, because there is power in everything that is handed down through generations. My name is Playon, infamous, pimpin', Patrick, yes infamous, yes pimpin', 2 words that are used to describe black men who do not make an honest living. My name sits at the corner of Prejudice Street and Black Makes the Difference Avenue. I am more than a name and damn sure more than a color. I am more than every box your mind decides to put me in. Playon will become greatness, and he will not stop because of what was given to him. He will find some extra weight for that weight on his shoulders. Playon will become legend, and he will set an example for all to see that there's a possibility for a black boy in America to leave behind an everlasting legacy.
My poem was about overcoming an obstacle, about my name and how my name is perceived. When I was little, I hated my name. My elementary school teachers, women from places like Puerto Rico, Venezuela, and other países de Sudamérica could not or would not pronounce my name correctly. My name is Tyisha. Instead, I got Taisha, Tasia, Triisha, or some other version with silent letters. They always hesitated on the first day of class when they got to my name. Squinted eyes cut deep into the page, then toward the class, to see which one of us was brave enough to bring this affront to their classroom, which half-pint hooligan haphazardly threw their ghetto name onto the class roster like a Molotov cocktail. I always knew when my name was next. Preempted my presence with a quick present in the hopes that they would move on to some other unlucky child. It took a while, y'all, but I learned to love my name. Kneaded pride into the rough places of my moniker until I rubbed the shame away. So when you introduce me now, be sure to get my name right. Tyisha Radford Short. I want everything that I put my hand to be engraved with my mark of distinction, like Ida Wells Barnett, Coretta Scott King, Mary McLeod Bethune. Memorize every syllable of my name and keep every piece of my identity intact. Mold your lips around every consonant, every vowel, every accent, and every pause. Then learn to love your name like it's the last revolutionary act you will ever make. In peace.
Hamilton is on stage through February 17th at the Ohio Theater in downtown Columbus. Visit kappa.com for details. Our local music series continues this week with a performance by Watu Atungo. It's a Swahili term meaning rhythmic people. This band is interested in investigating the common thread of black music by fusing elements of jazz, R&B, hip-hop, soul, and gospel to create one eclectic sound. The tune you're about to hear is an original composition reminiscent of an Eritrean melody that puts forth messages of hope and promises of brighter days for the black community. Here they are performing Black Man's Dawn.
I want to thank all the performers today for reminding us through song and through words. Just what it is about America. About America. About America. I want to thank all of you traveling to join us here today, and welcome, welcome, and welcome, and welcome to this celebration in the course of our history, in the course of our history, in the course of our history. Only a handful of generations have been asked to confront challenges as serious as the ones we face right now. The ones we face right now. I won't pretend. 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 I won't pretend that meeting any one of these challenges will be easy. It'll take more than a month or a year. There will likely take many.
instinctive, unconscious, unplanned. Indeed, this is the same aspect of the struggle. Indeed, this is the same aspect of the struggle that we saw in the 60s. Indeed, this is the same aspect of the struggle that we saw in the 60s. Instinctive struggle. As if we're to draw a conclusion just from this aspect of struggle, that is to say, the people struggling unconsciously, unplanned, spontaneously, and instinctively. That since people have an instinctive love of freedom, everywhere they will struggle for freedom. Everywhere they will struggle for freedom. Freedom, everywhere they will struggle for freedom. Everywhere they will struggle for freedom. Freedom, everywhere, freedom, everywhere, freedom, everywhere, freedom, everywhere, freedom, everywhere they will struggle. Freedom, 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 everywhere freedom, every freedom, everywhere freedom, every freedom, everywhere freedom, everywhere they everywhere, 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 everywhere they will struggle for freedom, everywhere they will struggle for freedom, 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 everywhere, 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 freedom, everywhere, everywhere, freedom, everywhere, 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 freedom, 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 freedom,
Watuatungo is led by drummer James Gators. Learn more about him and all of his music projects at jamesgators.com. And you can find more videos from their visit to the WOSU studio, along with the Q&A with the band, at wosu.org/localtunes. For the artist in our next story, playing with fire is just part of her creative process. Lisa Friedrich calls herself a pyrotechnic artist. She paints by laying out gunpowder on paper, then lighting it on fire to see what happens. Here's her story.
I have always been a pyromaniac. Gunpowder is very significant and unusual. I mean, who doesn't love playing with gunpowder, honestly? It's like 4th of July every day. Just fire. I originally started off as an oil painter major, going through a whole bunch of classes. I really liked mixed media, printmaking, and just experimenting with everything got me to experiment with gunpowder. Why not? So the reason I use fire is everyone thinks it's dangerous, which it is. I've had my fair share of burns and scars, and I have all 10 fingers still, so I'm good there. But the aspect of using what you think is not a medium for artwork is what really intrigues people, and it intrigues me. There's kind of a secret to my process, and I learned after many experiments putting pressure on gunpowder is what actually adhedes the smoke into the paper and creates the image. It's like Christmas every day. I just love trying to control something that can't be controlled. Looks good. Just clean it up a little bit. I clean these really well when I'm framing them because I don't like to see the soot still enclosed in the glass. When I first started my gunpowder, it was just abstract. I really wanted to actually make an image. I mainly do landscape pieces. I enjoy actually going to the locations and taking my own photographs. One of my favorite places in the city is the Stone Arch Bridge. I have an obsession with taking images of bridges, and it's just the structure, the smooth lines. I know when I look at a photo, yes, that's gonna work. No, that's not gonna work. Because I see the straight lines, I see the dramatic effect it's gonna have, and the story it's gonna tell. I am weeding the vinyl. It is cut out in a certain way that I have to slowly peel the image away, and I'm keeping anything that is purple or the actual vinyl. That is what's going to be protected from the flames and smoke, and that's essentially what gives me my negative image. So the images are taken from a photograph, and then I have to render them in a way that I know it's going to work for gunpowder. I do have a partner in crime. They have actual laser cutters that help me produce the images. The reason I mainly use landscapes, it's something that just looks dramatic. I do the city skyline of Minneapolis, and it kind of tells a story. It looks like the city's on fire, and people really like that aspect of my artwork tells a story. I recently got accepted to be one of the 34 artists that will be represented in the new U.S. Bank Stadium for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm very honored to have that. I don't work with a lot of prints. I like the aspect of being able to repeat the image that I have, but the actual burn marks, my ink marks, they are always different. I can never repeat, and so it's always an original, unique piece. Hey, it worked great. I know I'm not the first to, use gunpowder, but I want gunpowder and fire and smoke to be a new, exciting medium that's going to lead to people experimenting. When I'm 70, I want to look back and I want to be the girl that's known as the gunpowder girl.
That's our show. You can find all of our stories online at wosu.org/broadenhigh and give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're closing the show with more music by Watu Atungo. For all of us here at WOSU, I'm Jackie Schaefer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next week.
Brother,
I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen. I too am America.
Join Columbus as we recognize, reflect, and revive the spirit of the Harlem Renaissance. Go to cbusharlem100.org for more information.
Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.